Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today that I want you to carry with you for the rest of your life. Time waits for no one. You see, time is the most precious resource we have, yet many of us are guilty of letting it slip away, day by day, hour by hour, without truly seizing the opportunities that are right in front of us. Time is precious. It's something we often take for granted, thinking that there will always be more of it waiting for us, just around the corner. We assume that time will stretch endlessly, giving us plenty of moments to do what we want, to chase our dreams, to make the changes we wish to see in our lives. But that's the illusion. Time doesn't wait for anyone. Time is a silent force that moves forward relentlessly. And once a moment passes, it's gone forever. There's no way to rewind the clock or reclaim what's been lost. And that's why time is one of the most valuable things we have. How often have you found yourself saying, "I'll do it tomorrow"? How many times have you pushed something off, telling yourself that you have time to get it done later? It's easy to fall into that trap, isn't it? We tell ourselves that there's plenty of time, that we'll get around to things when the time is right. But the truth is, the time is now. Waiting for the right moment often means waiting forever. We live in a world where distractions are everywhere, pulling our attention in 100 different directions. But if we don't prioritize what truly matters, if we don't seize the moments when they come, we'll find ourselves standing at the end of our lives, looking back with regret, wondering where all the time went. You see, the clock is ticking and there's no pause button. We can't stop time. We can't hold on to it. It's moving faster than we realize, and once a minute passes, it's gone for good. We can't rewind it. We can't pause it, and we can't buy more of it. What we can do is make the most of the time we have right now. Every day is an opportunity to do something that brings us closer to our dreams. Every hour is a chance to make a difference in our own lives or in the lives of others. But so often we get caught up in thinking that there will be more time. We think that we'll have time tomorrow, next week, or next year to start working on our goals, to pursue our passions, or to fix the things in our lives that need attention. But life doesn't give us guarantees. There's no promise that tomorrow will come, or that the future will be what we expect. That's why it's so important to act now. Time is precious because it's finite. It doesn't last forever. It's easy to think that we'll have all the time in the world to accomplish everything we want to do. But the truth is that none of us know how much time we have left. We don't know when our last day will come. We don't know when our time will be up. So we must treat every moment as though it's a gift. Every breath we take, every day we wake up, is a precious opportunity to do something that matters. And if we let those moments slip away without truly living, without making the most of the time we have, we will have wasted the most valuable thing we possess. We're all guilty of wasting time. We scroll through social media, binge watch TV shows, or get caught up in meaningless distractions, thinking we'll catch up later, that we'll have time for the important things later. But here's the thing, later is a myth. There is no guarantee that we'll have time later. There's only now, and if we don't use the now wisely, we'll find ourselves looking back with regret, wishing we'd done more, wishing we had taken action when we had the chance. Think about the things you've put off, the dreams you've postponed, the relationships you've neglected, the health habits you've been meaning to start, the projects you've been dreaming about but haven't taken the first step toward. How many of those things are still waiting for you to make a move? And how many of them will still be there waiting for you 10 years from now if you don't take action now? The truth is, time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fears or your doubts. Time moves on whether you do or not. And if you don't take advantage of the time you'll find that those opportunities, those dreams might slip away forever. But here's the good news, it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in life, no matter how much time you think you've wasted, it's never too late to begin. Every moment is an opportunity to take action, to make a change, to do something that moves you closer to where you want to be. But you can't do it by waiting. You have to make the decision to act now, to recognize that time is precious and that every moment is an opportunity. So take a step today, do something, no matter how small, to move forward. Because the time you have right now is the only time that matters. Time waits for no one. It's up to you to make it count. The present is all you have. That's the simple, undeniable truth of life. We spend so much of our time either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future that we often forget the most important moment of all, right now. We can't change what's already happened. No matter how much we want to go back and undo mistakes or relive certain moments, the past is set in stone. And as for the future, it's uncertain. No one can predict what's coming. The only moment you can truly control, the only time you can truly experience is the present. But how often do we get caught up in things that are outside of our control? How often do we focus on what went wrong in the past or fear what might happen tomorrow, next year, or 10 years from now? We allow the weight of yesterday's mistakes or the anxiety of what might happen in the future to overshadow the precious gift we have in this very moment. It's easy to fall into this trap because we're wired to think about what's gone wrong or to anticipate what's coming next. But in doing so, we miss out on the only thing that truly matters right here, right now. When you spend too much time thinking about what you've lost or what you might lose, you rob yourself of the opportunity to truly live in the present. The people you love, the opportunities in front of you, the dreams you get to pursue, they all exist in the present. And if you're constantly focused on the past or the future, you miss out on the beauty of what's right in front of you. Imagine how much richer your life would be if you could fully embrace the present, if you could give your undivided attention to the people in your life and the opportunities before you. Think about how much more fulfilled you would feel if you weren't constantly distracted by what has already happened or what might be coming. Now, that's not to say that the past and the future don't matter. They do. The past can teach us valuable lessons, and the future gives us something to work toward. But the problem arises when we allow those things to dominate our thoughts to the point where they prevent us from living fully in the present. The past can't be changed and the future is unpredictable. So why spend your life trapped in either of them when the present is the only place where real life happens? There's a powerful reason why the present is all we have. It's because the present is where we have the ability to take action. The past is gone and the future has yet to come, but the present is where you can make a difference. Right now you have the power to make decisions that can change the course of your life. Right now you have the chance to act, to love, to work toward your dreams, to experience life fully. The present is the only place where you can make an impact. It's the only moment in which you can truly be alive. But so many of us are stuck waiting for something, waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect circumstances, waiting for the right opportunity to come along. We tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow, or when this happens, then I'll be ready. But the truth is, tomorrow is never guaranteed, and the perfect moment may never come. The time to act is now. The time to make your dreams a reality is right in front of you. The present moment is the only time you can control. And if you let it slip by, you might find yourself looking back, wishing you had done more, wishing you had seized the moment when you had the chance. Embracing the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or the future. It means accepting that the past is behind you and the future is uncertain. But right now you have everything you need to make a change. The present moment is where your power lies. When you stop focusing on things you can't change and start focusing on what you can do right now, your life begins to open up in ways you never imagined. When you stop worrying about what might go wrong and start living in the now, you free yourself from the chains of fear and doubt. And it's not just about taking action, it's about truly experiencing life. How many of us are guilty of going through motions, moving from one task to the next without really being present? How many of us check our phones constantly even when we're with the people we love? How many of us are physically in a room but mentally somewhere else, lost in our thoughts about the past or the future? If you want to experience life in its fullest, you have to show up in the present. You have to be fully engaged in what's happening right now, whether it's spending time with your family, chewing your career, or simply enjoying a moment of peace. The present is a gift, and it's the only gift you can truly make the most of. Life doesn't wait for anyone, and if you don't take the time to appreciate the present, it will slip through your fingers, leaving you with nothing but memories of what could have been. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop worrying about what has already passed or what's yet to come. The present is where life happens, and it's all you need to create the future you want. Live in the moment and watch how everything begins to fall into place. Fear is normal. It's something every single person experiences at some point in their life. It's that feeling that creeps in when we're faced with something unknown, when we step out of our comfort zone, or when we have to make a big decision. Fear can be paralyzing. It can make us doubt ourselves, our abilities, and our potential. It can stop us in our tracks, convincing us that we're not good enough or that failure is inevitable. But here's the truth. Fear doesn't have to control you. Fear is just an emotion, a natural response to something we perceive as threatening. It's a part of the human experience, but it doesn't define us, and it doesn't have to determine our actions. We live in a world where fear often holds us back from pursuing our dreams, from taking risks, from reaching for the life we truly desire. Fear tells us to play it safe, to stay where it's comfortable, to avoid anything that might make us feel vulnerable. It's easy to listen to fear because in many ways it feels like it's protecting us. It warns us of danger, reminds us of past failures, and tries to keep us from making mistakes. But here's the catch. The greatest growth happens when we move beyond fear. It's when we push through discomfort, when we face our fears head on, that we discover our true potential. And this is the key. Fear is not a signal to stop, it's often a signal. But we're on the verge of something great. Fear can take many forms. It might manifest as anxiety, self-doubt, or the fear of failure. It might be the fear of what others will think, the fear of being judged or criticized. It might even be the fear of success, because with success comes change, and with change comes uncertainty. The thing is, no matter what form fear takes, it's never as powerful as the courage that resides within us. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move forward in spite of it. It's the decision to act even when the fear is still there. And here's the secret. The more you face fear, the less power it has over you. Every time you push through it, every time you take a step despite your fear, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than anything that fear can throw your way. Think about the moments in your life when you've experienced fear. The first time you stepped into a new job, started a new relationship, or tried something you'd never done before. The fear was there, wasn't it? The fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, the fear of looking foolish. But you did it anyway. You took that step. And when you did, you realized something incredible. Fear is often just a feeling, not a fact. It's a temporary emotion that passes once you act, once you begin to move forward. The fear you feel in the face of the unknown is just a signal that you're about to break through to something new. It's an indicator that you're on the edge of growth, of transformation, of stepping into the next level of who you're meant to be. It's easy to let fear control you. It's easy to listen to the voice that says, you can't do this, or what if you fail? But if you give in to that voice, if you let fear make your decisions for you, you'll never know what you're capable of. You'll never experience the thrill of victory that comes from overcoming your own doubts and fears. You'll never know what it feels like to take a risk and succeed. And you'll never reach the fullest potential of who you are. The key is to acknowledge fear without letting it dictate your actions. Fear is not a stop sign, it's a signal to keep going. When you feel that fear rise up inside you, don't run from it. Don't shrink back. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a natural response to stepping outside your comfort zone. And then do it anyway. Take that step forward, even if your heart is racing, even if your mind is filled with doubt. The more you act despite fear, the more you'll discover that it doesn't control you. It's just a feeling that loses its power the moment you decide not to give in to it. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in life is that fear is often a sign that you're on the right track. When you feel fear, It means you're pushing yourself to grow, to expand, to reach for something greater than what you know. The fear doesn't disappear, it simply becomes a companion along the journey. You'll feel it when you take on new challenges, when you step into the unknown, and when you're on the verge of making big changes in your life. But instead of letting it control you, let it drive you. Use it as fuel to keep going. Because every time you face fear, you gain confidence. Every time you push through it, you grow stronger. And every time you take action despite the fear, you move closer to the life you've always wanted. Fear is normal. It's part of the human experience. But don't let it control you. Don't let it hold you back from pursuing your dreams, from taking risks, from becoming the person you were always meant to be. Recognize fear for what it is, just a feeling, and keep moving forward anyway. Because when you do, you'll discover that fear is nothing more than a stepping stone to greatness. Perfection doesn't exist. We often hear people say, "I'll do it when it's perfect," or "I'm waiting for the perfect moment." We tell ourselves that everything has to align just right, that every detail must be flawless before we can act. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion, a standard that we can never truly reach. Perfection is a moving target. What we think is perfect today may no longer seem perfect tomorrow. In our pursuit of it, we often waste time, energy, and energies that could be better spent actually moving forward. When we aim for perfection, we become paralyzed by the idea that something has to be just right before we can take action. This leads to procrastination. We delay starting because we're afraid of not getting it just right, or making mistakes, or receiving criticism. But in doing so, we prevent ourselves from growing, from learning, and from achieving. We focus so much on the what ifs and the how could I make this perfect that we forget one crucial point. It's the imperfect actions that lead to progress. Every step, no matter how small or flawed, brings us closer to where we want to be. Perfection can also hold us back in other ways. It makes us afraid to show our work to others, to be vulnerable, or to take risks. We wait for the perfect conditions, but the truth is that those conditions may never come. The perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect situation, none of these things are guaranteed. What we can control, however, is how we respond to the challenges in front of us and the willingness to take action despite the fear of imperfection. Instead of waiting for everything to fall into place, we must learn to take imperfect action, to accept that mistakes will happen along the way and that those mistakes are part of the process. When we strive for perfection, we set ourselves up for constant disappointment. We measure our progress against an unrealistic ideal and then feel discouraged when we don't meet that ideal. But perfection is subjective. What one person considers perfect may be completely different from someone else's standard. In fact, sometimes what we think is imperfect is exactly what makes something unique, powerful, and beautiful. The flaws we see in ourselves and our work often turn out to be the very things that others connect with. Those imperfections are what make us human. They are what give our stories meaning and our actions purpose. The pursuit of perfection can also rob us of the joy of the journey. We get so fixated on the end result that we forget to enjoy the process. We forget to celebrate the small victories, the learning moments, and the growth that happens when we take action, even imperfectly. We become so consumed by the idea of the perfect outcome that we overlook the beauty of the journey itself. The truth is, life is not about achieving perfection, it's about progress. It's about learning, growing, and improving as we go. Every step, no matter how messy or flawed, is part of the path to something greater. This obsession with perfection also keeps us from taking risks. We become afraid of failing, of making mistakes, of being judged. But it's only through risk, failure, and imperfection that we learn and grow. Every failure is an opportunity to learn something new. Every mistake is a lesson in resilience. When we let go of the idea of perfection, we free ourselves to take those risks, to try new things, and to discover what we are truly capable of. When we stop chasing perfection, we start embracing progress. We understand that it's the journey that matters most, not the destination. We stop worrying about whether or not we're doing things perfectly and instead focus on the fact that we are doing them at all. We give ourselves permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to learn as we go. This is where real growth happens. It's not in achieving perfection, but in showing up, taking action, and learning from what we do. It's also important to recognize that perfection is often a barrier to creativity and innovation. When we are too focused on getting everything just right, we become afraid to experiment, to try new things, or to step outside the box. Perfectionism stifles creativity because it forces us into a narrow mindset where anything that doesn't meet the standard is seen as a failure. But creativity thrives in an environment where mistakes are allowed, where imperfection is seen as part of the process, and where there is freedom to take risks and explore new possibilities. When we let go of the need for perfection, we open ourselves up to innovation and breakthroughs that we would otherwise miss. We also need to acknowledge that perfection is a moving target. No matter how hard we try, no matter how much we strive, there will always be something else to improve. There will always be another detail, another step, another opportunity to tweak and refine. But chasing perfection is a never-ending cycle. We can spend our entire lives pursuing something that is unattainable, and in doing so, we miss out on living fully in the moment, on taking action, and on enjoying the joy. Perfection doesn't exist. It's a myth, a standard that we can never truly reach. But that doesn't mean we should stop striving for excellence. It means we need to redefine what success looks like. It means that we need to embrace imperfection as part of the process, to accept that mistakes are inevitable and that they are often the stepping stones to success. It means taking action, even when it's not perfect, because progress is what truly matters. So let go of the illusion of perfection and start living, learning, and growing. Because perfection will never come, but that doesn't mean you can't create something beautiful along the way. Opportunities are everywhere. They are not rare, nor are they reserved tonight. They are all around us, constantly presenting themselves in different forms at different times and in different circumstances. Yet far too often we overlook them. We get caught up in the routine of our everyday lives, consumed by distractions, worries, and fears that we fail to see the doors that are waiting to be opened. But the truth is that opportunities don't wait. They are always present, and it's up to us to recognize them and seize them when they come our way. The first step in recognizing opportunities is to shift our mindset. Too many people live in a state of scarcity, thinking that opportunities are limited or reserved for others. They believe that they must wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect time, or the perfect situation before they can take action. But the reality is that opportunities don't come with a perfect package. They come wrapped in challenges, uncertainty, and sometimes discomfort. It's easy to ignore opportunities that don't look like what we expect, but this is where growth happens. The opportunities that lead to real change and transformation often don't come in the form we anticipate. They might come as a problem that needs solving, a new responsibility that requires effort, or a difficult decision that forces us to stretch our abilities. Recognizing these moments for what they are, opportunities in disguise, is the key to unlocking the doors that lead to success. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the ability to embrace uncertainty. So much of life's most significant opportunities come with an element of risk. Starting a new job, moving to a new place, starting a new relationship, or pursuing a new venture all come with unknowns, with fears of failure or rejection. But it's precisely in those moments of uncertainty that the greatest opportunities lie. When we push ourselves outside our comfort zones, when we take risks and step into the unknown, we open ourselves up to possibilities that we would never have encountered if we had stayed in familiar, comfortable territory. Every time we take a leap of faith, we open the door to new chances, new connections, and new experiences. Opportunities are not always large or dramatic. They often show up in the small, seemingly insignificant moments. A casual conversation with a colleague, a chance encounter with a stranger, or an unexpected invitation to an event. These moments may seem trivial, but they can lead to life-changing opportunities. The key is to be open and receptive to the small moments as much as to the big ones. Sometimes opportunities are not about the grand gestures or the big decisions. They are about the little choices we make each day. It's about how we show up in our interactions, how we approach our work, and how we're engaged with the world around us. We don't always know where a simple conversation might lead, but if we approach each interaction with openness and curiosity, we create space where opportunities can flourish. Another important aspect of recognizing opportunities is being prepared. Opportunities don't always come when we're ready for them. In fact, they often come when we least expect them, when we feel unprepared or unsure. But the difference between those who seize opportunities and those who let them slip away is often preparation. When we stay focused on developing our skills, expanding our knowledge, and nurturing our strengths, we position ourselves to take full advantage of the opportunities that arise. Preparation doesn't mean waiting for everything to be perfect or for all the pieces to fall into place at the right time. Continuously becoming best from ourselves so that when the opportunity does come, we are ready to seize it. Opportunities also come in the form of failure. It's easy to think that an opportunity has passed us by when we experience setbacks, but failure is often a stepping stone to greater opportunities. Every failure is a lesson, a chance to grow, learn, and adapt. It's not the failure itself that matters, it's how we respond to it. Those who see failure as an opportunity to improve, to try again, and to learn something new are the ones who ultimately succeed. Each setback is an opportunity to refine our approach, to build resilience, and to get closer to our goals. The world is full of opportunities, but they don't come with guarantees. Sometimes we have to create our own opportunities. Rather than waiting for someone to give us a chance, we can go out and make things happen. We can network, build connections, and seek out new experiences that open doors for us. Sometimes the best opportunities come from simply taking action, from starting something new even if we're unsure of where it will lead. Opportunities are not always waiting for us to discover them, they can be waiting for us to create them. In addition to being open and prepared, recognizing opportunities also requires a mindset of gratitude and positivity. When we focus on what we have and what we can do, rather than what we lack or what's wrong, we begin to see opportunities everywhere. Gratitude shifts our perspective and helps us recognize the abundance of possibilities in our lives. It allows us to see potential where others might see obstacles, and it encourages us to take action even when things seem uncertain. Opportunities are everywhere, but they require a certain mindset and willingness to act. They come in all shapes and sizes, sometimes hidden in the form of challenges, setbacks, or unexpected encounters. The key is to stay open, prepared, and willing to step outside our comfort zones. Opportunities don't wait for the perfect moment, they arrive in the present, and it's up to us to recognize them and take action. Life is full of chances to grow, to learn, to create, and to connect. When we approach life with this mindset, we see that opportunities are not limited, they are abundant, and they are there for the taking. Success comes to those who act. It's a simple yet powerful truth that too many people overlook. In a world that is full of distractions, challenges, and uncertainty, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success is something that will come to us when this rise shall be, when all the conditions align, or when we're finally ready. But the reality is that success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who will take action. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or having everything in place. It's about making a move, taking a step forward, and committing to the journey, even when you don't have all the answers. One of the biggest barriers to success is the fear of failure. So many people sit on the sidelines of their own lives, too afraid to take action because they're worried about making mistakes, facing rejection, or falling short. But failure is not the enemy of success, it's an essential part of the process. Every successful person has faced setbacks, encountered obstacles, and dealt with disappointments. But the difference between those who succeed and those who succeed, the other successful ones, don't let failure stop them. They act anyway, they take risks, they learn from their mistakes, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. It's through acting even in the face of failure that we learn, grow, and ultimately reach the heights of success. Another reason people fail to act is because they feel unprepared. We often convince ourselves that we need more time to plan, more knowledge, or more resources before we can take the next step. But the truth is, there's never a perfect moment to begin. If we wait until we feel completely ready, we'll never get started. The most successful people aren't necessarily the ones with the best plans or most resources. They're the ones who simply begin, no matter how imperfect their start may be. Success is not about having everything figured out from the start. It's about having the courage to take the first step even when you don't know exactly what will happen next. Every action you take builds momentum, and as you move forward, you gain more clarity and confidence along the way. Action is also what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's easy to talk about what we want, to make plans and set goals, but those things mean nothing without action. Dreams without action remain just that, dreams. The act of doing is what turns aspirations into reality. It's the small, consistent actions day in and day out that lead to big results. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the product of sustained effort, persistence, and a willingness to keep going even when things get tough. Those who act are the ones who see their dreams come to life. They don't wait for opportunities to knock on their door. They create their own opportunities by stepping into action. Taking action also builds momentum. When you act, even in small ways, you begin to gain momentum that pushes you forward. Momentum is a powerful force. Once you've taken that first step, it becomes easier to take the next one. The more you act, the more confidence you build, and the more momentum you create. It's this momentum that propels you toward your goals, making it easier to keep going even when things get challenging. The longer you wait to act, the harder it becomes to get started. But once you've taken the first step, you've broken the inertia and the journey becomes much easier. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to the overall success you're working toward. Moreover, success comes to those who act because action is the key to learning and growth. You can plan, strategize, and think about what you want to do, but the real lessons come when you take action. It's through doing that you learn what works and what doesn't. See, you might make mistakes along the way, but those mistakes are opportunities for growth. You learn what you need to improve on, what you need to adjust, and how to approach things differently in the future. The process of acting and learning is where success is born. Every time you act, you gain knowledge, experience, and wisdom that take you closer to your goals. Without action, you're simply stuck in a cycle of planning and preparation, never moving forward. It's also important to understand that success doesn't come to those who act once and next stop. Success is about consistency. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and taking action even when the results aren't immediately visible. Too often people give up too soon because they don't see the immediate rewards of their efforts. But success is a long-term game. It's about putting in the work even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's the consistent effort over time that leads to the breakthroughs and victories. Those who act are the ones who keep going day after day, refusing to give up until they achieve their goals. Lastly, taking action gives you control over your destiny. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and there will be external factors that influence your journey. But the one thing you can control is your ability to act. Taking action puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. You decide what steps to take, what direction to go in, and how much effort to put forth. You can't control everything, but you can control your actions. By acting, you take ownership of your future. You stop waiting for circumstances to change, and instead you make the change happen yourself. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. It comes to those who take the first step, who keep going when things get tough, and who are willing to fail and learn mistakes. Success is built on action, on the small steps you take every day to move closer to your goals. So stop waiting for the perfect moment and start acting now. The path to success is waiting for you, and the only thing standing between you and dreams is your willingness to take action. It's never too late. How many times have we convinced ourselves that we've missed the window of opportunity, that we're too old, too inexperienced, or too far behind to start something new? How many times have we thought that success or happiness is only for those who started young or had the right circumstances? The truth is, it's never too late. Time is not your enemy, it's your ally, and every moment is a new chance to take action, to make changes, and to pursue your dreams. No matter where you are in life, no matter how many years have passed, you have the ability to start anew, reinvent yourself, and create the future you desire. One of the most powerful misconceptions we face is the idea that certain achievements or milestones are reserved for a specific age. We look at successful people and think they've reached their peak too early, or we tell ourselves that we're too old to make a difference. But when you look at the stories of those who have accomplished incredible feats later in life, it becomes clear that age is just a number. People like Colonel Sanders, who founded KFC in the 60s, or Vera Wang, who didn't design her first wedding dress until she was in her 40s, prove that it's never too late to achieve great things. The only thing that truly limits us is our mindset. If you believe it's too late, then it will be. But if you recognize that the possibilities are endless, regardless of your age, then the world becomes an open canvas for you to create whatever you desire. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the best years are behind us, especially as we face challenges or experience setbacks. But the truth is, our lives are a series of chapters, not a single unchangeable story. Each new chapter presents an opportunity to evolve, to grow, and to start over. The past does not define the future. We can carry lessons from our past experiences, but we don't have to be weighed down by them. In fact, sometimes our greatest achievements come after the most difficult challenges, when we decide to rise above our circumstance and begin again. The hardships we face only serve to shape us and prepare us for the next chapter in our lives. It's never too late to rewrite your story, and you have the power to decide how it ends. Another reason many people feel that it's too late is the fear of failure. We often look at others and see their success, thinking that we could never measure up. We think I'm too far behind, or I've missed my chance. But the truth is, failure is not the end, it's part of the journey. It's through failure that we learn, grow, and refine our skills. Every time we fail, we get a little bit closer to success because we gain invaluable experience and insight. The fear of failure can hold us back, but if we change our perspective and see failure as a stepping stone rather than an obstacle, we can approach life with renewed courage and determination. Failure is not a sign that it's too late, it's a sign that you're in the process of becoming who you're meant to be. The idea that it's too late is also tied to the fear of judgment. We worry about what others will think if we start something new or take a different direction in life. We fear that we'll be criticized, laughed at, or that people will tell us we're too old to be pursuing certain dreams. But the opinions of others should never determine your path. The people who truly matter will support you, regardless of when you start or how old you are. And those who criticize are often projecting their own fears and insecurities onto you. It's important to remember that your life is yours to live, and the only person who can define your success is you. When you stop worrying about what others think, you free yourself to pursue your passions and dreams, no matter how unconventional they mention. It's never too late to make a change, no matter how big or small. You have the power to transform your life at any moment. The key is to take action. It's easy to get stuck in the rut of routine and convince ourselves that we don't have the energy, time, or resources to start something new. But even the smallest action can create a ripple effect that leads to bigger changes. Taking that first step, no matter how small, is the key to breaking through the barriers that hold you back. Whether it's learning a new skill, starting a new hobby, or reaching out to someone you admire, every action you take brings you closer to the person you want to become. It's never too late to begin the process of change. It all starts with deciding that now is the time. In addition, it's important to recognize that life doesn't have to be a race. We often compare ourselves to others and feel like we're behind, but success is not a competition. Everyone has their own journey. Some people start early, others start late, but what matters is that we start it all. There is no universal timeline for success, And there's no set age at which we should have achieved our dreams. The key is to define success on your own terms, to set your own goals, and to focus on the progress you're making, not where others are. The fact that you're taking action now at any age means you're on the right path. It's never too late to change your circumstances, to make new choices, and to create the life you want. No matter how many years have passed, no matter how many mistakes you've made, you have the power to start over. The beauty of life is that it's always a work in progress, and each new day offers a fresh opportunity to become the person you're meant to be. So, stop telling yourself it's too late. The time is now. The world is waiting for you to step into your full potential, no matter when you begin. You control your destiny. This truth holds immense power, yet it is often overshadowed by doubt, fear, and the tendency to blame external circumstances for where we are in life. It's easy to look at the challenges we face, the setbacks we've endured, and the limitations imposed by others, and feel as though our fate is beyond our control. But the reality is, your destiny is in your hands. No matter where you are, no matter what has happened in your past, you have the ability to shape your future through the choices you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you cultivate. Life is not a straight path, and it rarely unfolds exactly as we plan. There will be obstacles, unexpected turns, and moments of uncertainty. But these moments are not what determine your destiny. What determines your destiny is how you respond to them. You may not be able to control every circumstance, but you can control your attitude, your effort, and your resilience. These are the tools that allow you to rise above challenges and take charge of your future. When you decide to take ownership of your life, you realize that setbacks are not the end of the story. They are opportunities to learn, grow, and strengthen your character. Too often we fall into the trap of believing that external factors hold all the power. We tell ourselves that our success depends on the economy, the approval of others, or the circumstances we were born into. While it's true that these factors can influence our journey, they do not dictate the final outcome. History is full of individuals who have defied the odds, risen above adversity, and created extraordinary lives for themselves. What they all have in common is the belief that they were in control of their destiny. They refused to let circumstances define them. Instead, they took responsibility for their lives and made choices that aligned with their vision. Taking control of your destiny starts with recognizing the power of your choices. Every decision you make, no matter how small, contributes to the direction your life takes. Whether it's choosing to spend your time on activities that support your goals, surrounding yourself with the people who uplift and inspire you, or cultivating habits that lead to personal growth, each choice matters. Your daily decisions, compounded over time, shape your future. Even when the choices are difficult or uncomfortable, they are within your control. By taking ownership of your decisions, you empower yourself to create the life you desire. Another critical aspect of controlling your destiny is believing in your ability to make a difference. Self-doubt is one of the greatest barriers to personal success. It whispers that you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, or that you don't have what it takes to succeed. But those thoughts are not the truth. They are merely fears trying to hold you back. When you choose to believe in yourself, you unlock the potential that lies within you. You begin to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and the journey as a process of growth. Confidence in your ability to shape your future is the foundation of taking control of your destiny. It's also important to recognize that controlling your destiny doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be unknowns. But taking control is not about knowing every step of the journey. It's about trusting yourself to navigate the path as it unfolds. It's about being adaptable, staying focused on your goals, and taking consistent action toward them, even when the road ahead is unclear. You don't need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. Trusting yourself and taking action is how you build the momentum to move forward. Taking control of your destiny also requires perseverance. There will be moments when things don't go as planned, when the progress feels slow, when you encounter setbacks that make you question your path. But these moments are not a sign to give up, they are a test of your commitment to your vision. Perseverance means showing up every day, putting in the effort, and staying the course even it's difficult. The people who achieve their dreams are not those who never face challenges, but those who refuse to quit when they do. Success is not about avoiding failure, it's about being resilient enough to keep going in spite of it. You also have the power to change course when necessary. Controlling your destiny doesn't mean sticking rigidly to a plan that no longer serves you. It means having the courage to reassess your goals, adjust your strategies, and embrace new opportunities when they arise. Life is dynamic, and so are you. Your ability to adapt and evolve is a crucial part of shaping your destiny. When you're open to change and willing to take risks, you give yourself the freedom to grow and create a life that truly aligns with your values and aspirations. Ultimately, controlling your destiny comes down to taking responsibility for your life. It's about acknowledging that while you may not have control over everything, you do have control over how you respond, what you focus on, and what you choose to pursue. It's about stepping into the driver's seat and refusing to let fear, doubt, or external circumstances dictate your path. When you take ownership of your life, you empower yourself to create a future that reflects your dreams, your values, and your potential. Your destiny is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. It's shaped by your thoughts, your actions, and your determination. It's a reflection of your belief in your type self and your willingness to take action. No matter where you are today, no matter what challenges you faced, you have the power to take control and shape the life you want. The journey may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. You control your destiny, and the possibilities are limitless.